Hello and welcome to the Live Lounge. Beautiful souls, our wonderful family of light. Welcome to the last show of 2023. We're so happy you're here with us. It's great to see you. I'm Caroline Crawford.
And I'm Paul Crawford. And on this show, we will be talking, we're having an update overview of the energetics forecast. The original one, the full version, was recorded earlier, and we'll be uploading that to YouTube over the next couple of days, and that will be on Caroline's own personal channel. We'll also have some words of wisdom, as always, from my collective consciousness known as Jarama, and we'll be discussing about shining your truth and talking and speaking your truth and what that entails and how we can go about that. So it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, resonating from the truth of your being to impact the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's how we do impact on the world. But getting things rolling, we will be starting off with Caroline's overview of the energetics update.
Yeah, and excuse me if you see me looking down a little, because I've decided not to do the channeling with the Federation light on the Live Lounge because it just takes up too much time, and because we always have so much information that we want to share with you. And as Paul said, the full version will be available.
Yeah.
So, but it was very interesting. The big theme with the Federation of Light for these incoming energies for January, but also they said really through the year, the big theme was focus on your frequency. And they said that several times. To bring, as you focus on your frequency, that will help bring an activation from the energies of your higher self, and to help you be in the driving seat, not just be pulled along by outside influences and to be a passenger and people pulling your strings. But when you focus on your frequency, you're far more conscious, far more present in what you're doing. And when you're doing that, they also said that the energies that are coming in are really there to help us to all be alchemists, to be able to change our energy, to be able to manifest, to be able to choose, which we always have that option, what frequency we want to attune to, what thoughts we want to have, what we want to produce and create from within. So the energies that are coming in now are very much supportive of that and encouraging that. So you might find that you've been having higher thoughts, that you've been having a lot more insights of lately. I know I have. It's been great. I love it when you get just a quick insight into something or a premonition. And we're all capable of doing that, all of us, not just a chosen few. So it's so important that you recognize, focus on your frequency, on that energy that's coming in through your higher self, through your soul, through your heart, through your mind and through your body. Another thing they said, which was very interesting, which I find a very powerful exercise to do, is to close your eyes and imagine or visualize yourself as holographic. Because in truth, they said, that's what each one of us is. We are holographic in our true sense of being. And when I do that, I just get this really strong sense of this energy coming down from source, through all those different aspects of our being, through those fragments of our being, coming down into our humanness. And again, that helps us be more conscious, be more powerful, to really listen to our intuition and live from our soul. So remember, when you're visualizing yourself as holographic, that is when you're connected to all that is, all the truth. I'm only going to mention a couple more things because of the time, but also they mentioned that they hear a lot of us and they feel a lot of us praying to angels, praying to higher beings. a lot of you do not realise that you are those angelic beings on your highest level. You are those great beings of light. We need to not listen to the detriment of other sources outside of ourselves that want that control, that don't want us to realise and awaken to the real divine sacred power that we all are. And this is what next year is going to be a great expanse of, they said, with these incoming energies awakening us to the truth of our being, so we can live more joyously, we can live more consciously, we can be those alchemists, and we can transmute a lot of these darker energies, because the more we resonate from our true self, the more that light we are consciously and intentionally putting into the world, the more that light is filling the world, the more the world is filled with light even. I'm just getting a bit enthusiastic. So live from that light, live from your soul, live from those higher dimensions, and ask yourself throughout the day, not just once a day or when you go to bed, but at various times throughout the day, what frequency am I resonating from? And when your emotions are imbalanced, that is a good time to ask, because the energies that are coming in, they're also coming to obviously uplift our frequency. And part of that is, as we all know, is cleansing. So when our emotions are coming up, they're asking us to look at the frequency, look within, what are we resonating from? Because as we call in the energies of our higher self, of our soul, of the light, of the love and the truth, that is what helps transmute and helps us switch those thoughts to a higher frequency and then change our emotional states. That because our emotional states are caused by our thoughts from our perspective. So when we can think, what frequency am I resonating with? Have I got dug down a little bit into, that fear mongering, or we're not liking what we're seeing in the world, which is natural. But as we know that light is what transforms that, we know that light is what makes a difference, then we can choose that. Then we can really change our emotions, our emotional state, our mental state, and be much more productive and positive in the world. So, but one last thing they said, really important, is one step at a time. Don't get frustrated. Don't try and rush, because they said it's like we can only take, or we do only take, one breath at a time. And there is a reason for that. One breath, one step at a time. We're then more conscious in this dimension, we're more intentional, we're more powerful. So be gentle with yourself, be conscious, listen to your intuition, be aware of these higher energies that are coming in. You may feel that you're waking, or you may notice you're waking in the middle of the night. I know I have, thought, here we go again. Just be aware of what's coming to you at that time, acknowledge it, honour it. Honour your divine self, your soul, and live from that place. I'm going to leave it there. The full update will be on to help you through these energies, as Paul said, in a couple of days.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
And of course they send all their love.
Yeah, as always. Yeah. And I think that's a given, really. Their love is always with us.
Yes.
As is all of our ancestors and guides and helpers and angels. So speaking your truth, in order to allow us to speak our truth, I think we first of all need to understand who we are, and we need to start looking at our thoughts, our thought patterns on a regular basis. And we can then also start looking at those habitual patterns that we do, those things that we do all the time, like automatic mode, that can be a good pointer to where we are where we currently are within our energy, within ourselves, and where we are within our spiritual growth. And we can then allow ourselves to start to question which of those thoughts, those belief systems, and which of those habitual things that we do, which of those feel really true to us? Which ones do we think are from our true self, and which one is coming from those external manipulations? And those external manipulations have really began when we were children, in our infancy, right the way through to today, and everybody is so much more aware of what's been happening with the media of recent and other outlets as well. So it's actually using that as an indicator, and to start discerning which of those things really truly resonates within us, within our true truth, and finding ourselves to be more reflective on what is taking place within us, so we can start to really start making those changes that we need to.
Yeah, because I find, and you watching, I know you're all very aware of, you know, what goes on internally, of who we are and what we are, but as we become more finely attuned to who we are, we can then begin to speak more of our truth, and not in a, you know, not in an aggressive way, not in a boastful way, but just in the way of naturally being true to who we are. And we'll find, as we kind of go through this whole process of discernment and questioning, that the true you will really come to the fore, and you begin to realise and understand some of the decisions that you've made in the past, some of the thought patterns and that you've been going through and creating, and that'll allow you then to think, maybe I need to let go of that. That was an illusionary aspect of me. That wasn't a true aspect of me. Without any judgment, of course, but just allowing yourself to have times when you're really more attuned to the true you, to that resonance of you.
And it's as we come into more into the truth of our being, that essence of our existence will come more to the fore. And as we allow that to take place, I think we start to step more into our own authority. We actually start to own our inner strength in a much better way, and we can use that then to take control in a much more positive way, in allowing us to move forward. And it's a necessary part for us to go through into that greater expansion that we've all been talking about, and we all are all looking towards achieving. But it's also a much more spiritual way of living. And it has to be, it has to take place, because that's part and parcel of becoming and speaking our truth, allowing that divine energy, that spiritual divine energy, to come forward more into everything that we do, into everything that we are, and therefore also into our decision making. And it's helping us to create a much more positive energy within us as part of that decision making process.
Yeah, and I think you find the more attuned you come to yourself, the clearer your connection becomes. When you hear things externally, you know, whether it's the news, whether it's information, whether it's a particular energy you're picking up, whether it's somebody you're listening to, because you've cultivated that greater clarity within yourself, you find it easier to attune to the resonance of what it is you're receiving. So it's almost like, I won't say a word, but we can always know if somebody's not quite telling us what is right, you know, I'm not going to say it, but we just have that feeling, don't we? And the stronger and clearer that comes within us, the more able we are to discern that. We can discern, is this true or is this false? But it isn't just about reaching these expanded levels of existence. It's about what this brings into our everyday life, the energies that we're creating or it creates within ourselves, and assist us in taking us forward to live more joyously, to live more in alignment with the core of our being, that one of divine love, that one of divine existence, of which the Federation, and which I've said a lot, we are all threads of the divine. And when we can appreciate we then resonate much more easily and more closely to those energies of life, to the truth of life. And this what brings us more joy and just brings us much more ease in life and much more freedom to be who we are and to enjoy who we're with and to enjoy life on this planet, because that's what we're moving towards.
Yeah, and as we step into those true energies of life, in achieving this, it's, as we've said, it's where our true power lies. And it's all then about expressing that power, not as a matter of controlling others, but more about controlling ourselves and allowing ourselves to be who we are and taking ourselves forward into what is often a tricky world that we live in. And there's many things out there that we've all experienced and gone through. Times of great joy, but also times of confrontation and difficulties, changes, and changes that have gone on and everything else. But it's allowing ourselves to express that greater alignment with that truth. And as we do that, life becomes more easier, because we're shedding off that which is false, those falsehoods, and we're starting to really resonate our truth. And therefore, once we know that, once we've connected to that, we start to find that those decisions that we make also become easier.
Do you know, as you're talking, I'm just feeling this immense energy that's saying to me, I think it's our guides, that just envision and imagine the world where we're all living from the truth of our being. How magnificent, how wonderful is that going to be? Because it is going to come into being. I know it is. And I know when we're in our quiet moments, in our real truth, we can feel that. So the more we take little steps and little snippets to keep living from that truth of ourselves and not allowing that wall to be, pulled over our eyes, but allowing that discernment and our connection to become more heightened to the truth of who we are and building on that, the more, like I say, we tune into the energies of the resonance of what we're being, what we're listening to, or what we're hearing, or what we're being told. And then we can come from that energy of truth with a clearer picture of what is taking place. And what is endeavouring to have an impact on us. But when we're in that alignment with our truth, we come from that stance of a greater inner power, a greater inner authority and inner truth with that clarity. And like Paul says, we're then able to make better decisions, to have a more creative, joyous life, because we're more in alignment with our divine aspect. And when all of us are becoming more and more in alignment with that divine aspect, what a truly wonderful world it will be, because we are opening up to those energies more and more. This is what we're being guided towards through this expansion, but living it in a daily way that is utilising our energies from our higher self. Get a bit enthusiastic because it just gives me a good buzz to be that passionate energy. So I can hear Jarama coming through, Paul's wonderful team of higher consciousness that are so loving and so wise, and I'm going to sit back and enjoy their words of wisdom. You too.
Hello, my friends. the truth of who you are is a fundamental part of who you are. And it is something that is always there. It sometimes becomes cloaked with other elements of life that takes place, other influences in life. And at times those influences may have been at benefit, but sometimes we hold on to those influences far beyond where, shall we say, their sell-by date. So life is always about allowing ourselves, or allowing yourselves, to change. Allowing yourselves to be free to make changes. Allowing yourselves to go beyond those things that you just do out of habit, without thinking. So you're going to start to allow yourselves to be more intentional with everything that you do. And that doesn't mean that you become this absolute control freak over everything. But what it does do is it allows you to weed out those things that are hindering you from becoming the true expression of love, divine love that you are. Because that is your ultimate goal, in allowing the expression of that divine love in this physical existence. And this is why there is so much turmoil currently going on in the world, because it is creating individuals like yourselves that are starting to make this change, wanting change in the first place. But now it's time to start taking those greater steps towards those real changes that will be so much more effective in elevating the energies of humanity, elevating the energies of all creation. Because as you allow yourself to expand and to grow, you begin to change the world. You change life itself. And as you resonate more directly in alignment, in true alignment with your truth, those divine energies of love that you are, that is your natural state of being, you begin to create this expanded way of living. You create more naturally a sense of freedom within yourself. So whilst initially you will be much more intentional in what you do, as with everything, as that then becomes what you do, you automatically do it. It becomes easier for you to do that, to live more intentionally, and therefore allowing that loving energy of your soul to come into this being that you currently are in this physical life. And as you allow those energies to rise up within you, they expand far, far outside of your physical being. You begin to interact with the energies of creation in a much more powerful way. Not through the want of manipulating others, but more by shining your light, resonating to that loving energy that is your true state of existence. And then allowing others to make the choice if they are going to join you. There is no force involved. It is about being at ease with it all. And the more that those divine energies come into being within yourself, you will understand that more and more. No longer will you be, shall we say, misdirected or confused with those small everyday things or even those larger things in life. Because you will more naturally start to tune into the energy of something, going beyond the words that are being said and tune into the energy of it, and asking yourself, does this resonate with who you are? Does this resonate with the loving energies of my soul? And this is for you to do. And now is the time to do that. The world is ready for you. Creation is waiting for you to take your place, to come to the fore, to be yourself, and to allow that divine light to shine in everything that you do. That isn't to say that you will get everything right. But if you allow yourself to change, to let go of that which does not serve you, does not create the true loving purpose within you, then you will be living life in the fullest way. Because you will be allowing yourself to move forward. And as you allow yourself to move forward with that energy of love, you will be living a much more expanded spiritual life. And that is the true reason for you being in this physical world now. And you have all signed up to do this, knowing that it is possible for you to do it, no matter what the circumstances of your life, no matter what the difficulties are that surround you. It is about allowing yourself to look beyond those difficulties. It is about allowing yourself to focus on the true energies that resonate with your soul. So take note of what you are focusing on. Take note of those things that you habitually do without thinking. Take note of them. Are they taking you closer to your loving energy, or are they taking you further away? And if they are taking you further away, then it is time to let them go and to start creating new, more positive thoughts and beliefs so that you can allow your light to shine and bring in your energies of love into this world, and therefore creating the necessary expansion for humanity to rise up and to take its place where it is meant to be. And as you allow your light to shine more brightly in the truth of who you are, life becomes magically joyous in so many ways. And with that cheerful thought, my friends, we will say goodbye for now. But remember, it is possible, because you have already known that this is one of your purposes in incarnating at this time. You knew that you were able to do it, so allow yourselves to step in to the power of just that. Goodbye, my friends.
Thank you. Love to all. Very, very uplifting energies, and I'm sure when you're listening, because that energy permeates out, that you can all feel that energy as well. So lovely words, lovely energies, lovely truths to help us all embody and really live from that truth of our being, because this is what we're moving into. Don't think I'll leave it up to somebody else. Be who we are, because I know earlier the Federation said something, and it just reminded me when Jarama said that every soul on this planet has come to live from their light within, not from somebody else's, not to focus on what anybody else is doing or not doing. Every soul, every one of us has come to live from that light within us. So I know when we live from a light, we're a lot happier as well. Life's a lot more fun, isn't it? So that's what we can, this planet certainly needs at this time. So that's the last one of this year.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, thank you again. You know, we just really appreciate you being with us, being on this journey with us, really. And, you know, we put a lot of thought and a lot of planning into these, don't we? And we really enjoy it. But if there's something that you feel really you want to bring into this world next year, or something you want to focus on next year, please, when it's on YouTube, leave a comment in the down in the comments below for us, because we love reading those comments. And also, we're coming up to Christmas. Today, the night we're recording this, it is actually winter solstice. So again, more powerful energies for us to come into that light, that new light that's coming in. So happy winter solstice to you all. May you be filled with those blessings and light and love of these new beginnings. Wishing you all a very happy, peaceful Christmas, or Kwanzaa, or I know we've just been through Hanukkah here. So blessings and peace and love to you all. And if you're on your own, know that you're never truly alone, that there are always energies around. Reach out to somebody and feel all that love from our hearts.
Yeah, and just want to say many thanks to you all, and keep believing in yourself and taking those steps in the knowledge that it's there to uplift you and to help make life a lot easier and moving forward in that expanded spiritual way. Yeah.
And have a lovely Christmas, or a lovely holiday season. And yeah, we've got used to saying that here in America, happy holidays. It means something else in England. But and as we go into 24, be close to your soul. We'll see you, I think it's January the 17th. But thank you so much for joining us. Feel our love, and from both of us, namaste. We love you.
Take care, everybody.
Mwah.